Hey now, Derek Drago here. I'm talking about the social justice video blog, and to be more specific, we're talking about cultural humility. So first, I'll define cultural humility, um, and then we'll talk about possible barriers between you and the client, and your client and yourself as a counselor. First and foremost, cultural humility for me is being sensitive and respectful to the cultural differences and norms of your client's culture, where they're from. They may be different from yours. It's your job as counselor to bracket your values and your feelings and your norms and your directives and your culture. Put it aside and basically transpose yourself almost into their body, one would say, and view the world through their eyes, through their lens. And that's probably the best way to basically respect and understand where they're coming from, and that's basically the most important thing. In Philippians 2:3-4, I paraphrase, it says, hold the other person's culture in equal or higher esteem than to yourself. So basically, once again, you're putting yourself to the side and really putting center stage their culture and their differences and their norms, and making them almost yours at that point. This can be a hard thing to do as counselors, especially when we have our own values. So listening to them and understanding them and reflecting and validating them is basically going to make you self-reflect, and self-reflect is a great thing. And when you have that humility, which is the key, you can self-reflect, and then you can build that relationship, that client counselor relationship with them, and then from there on, you guys can make your goals and move forward. For me, my favorite example of cultural humility in Scripture is when Jesus refused to condemn the adulterous woman. We all know that story, so I don't really have to repeat it, but to summarize, Jesus listened to her plight, chased away the Pharisees or her condemners, or advocated for her, and made it possible for her to make her own decision and move forward in life. And basically, for me, in my own personal theory, I'm going to put that type of example as my leading example, and also use my model of truth and justice at the top of the hierarchy with God, because truth is God and justice is God, and then everything else goes below that, and we work with that. Barriers. The book talked about social justice barriers of racism, of microaggressions, and those type of things. For me, that's difficult for me to get a hold of. I'm more into barriers that are psychological and spiritual in nature. And I think putting truth and justice at the top, and trying to transcend into those values is what will help me understand more where their plight is, whether it be microaggressions or racism or any type of social justice, and so that I can understand that, and from a psychological and spiritual viewpoint, I can help them the best that I can. For me, those barriers are more under the radar, can I say, and concrete barriers would probably be, for cultural differences, it would be language, um, just misunderstandings with cultural norms, and those kind of things can lead to confusion, and so my job as a counselor is to talk, let them talk through those things, and then look at truth and justice, and see where we can go from there. So, recapping, respecting, and being sensitive to the cultural differences and norms of the client is cultural humility, and using that cultural humility to self-reflect and to validate and to put yourself in the client's viewpoint, as one would say, is of utmost importance in building the client counsel relationship, and in getting to where the client can be empowered to make their own decisions. Thank you.